Hello YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Angry Dave's Adult RC. I'm your host, Angry Dave. Anyone who's under 13 should be watching something else. Everybody else, let's grab some fucking tools. If you're old enough, grab yourself a cocktail, spark up a doobie, and let's wrench on some fucking RCs. So here we got my ECX Mini Barrage. You may recognize this from my Christmas video and a couple other videos before that while we were building it. The fucking thing shit the bed right in the middle of the Christmas video because of these. Now, when the truck was new, these batteries worked fine. I didn't really have any problem with them, but they're nickel metal hydride. They don't sit unused well for long periods of time, like Lipos. You can put a Lipo on storage charge, not use it for a good long time, and then charge the fucking thing up, and it works great. Nymais, not so much. I know people are going to say things like, oh, well, you can fucking cycle the charge and you can bring them back and blah, 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 blah. Fuck that. These things are fucking junk. I'm done with them. The other two trucks had Lipos. I didn't have any fucking problems. So, we're going to put in this new RC four-wheel drive XR2 speed control, and that should take care of the fucking problem. I can use Lipo batteries that I already have, and shouldn't be a problem. Now, I could probably use the speed control that's in it and change the battery connector and change or use a voltage alarm, but I don't really want to take the chance. I'm not sure if this thing is actually capable of taking a Lipo, although it does look pretty much exactly like the speed control that's in the RC four-wheel drive Mini Galenda 2. But yeah, for 20 bucks that this cost, it wasn't too bad, and it'll save me some bullshit. I can just fucking put it in, plug it in, and move on. So let's get to that. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and rip out the old speed control. I'm going to put a white mark right there on that speed control to indicate that that is the terminal for the signal for the servo, because the speed control still works. I may use it in something in the future, and I don't see, oh, you know what? I take it back. There's a little sticker under there, and you might be able to see that indicates what's what, but still good to mark your shit so later down the road you know what the fuck it does. Looks like I'm going to lose my light, which is not the end of the world, and I can find another way to power it up. There we go. That's going to go in the spare electronics drawer. We'll get out a blade, clean this shit up. Alright, we got that cleaned up good enough. A little tiny bit of residue, but it's kind of sticky, so it'll probably help the new shit stick. So let's go ahead and rip into the new one. Not candy. There it is. That's a little guy. It's even smaller than the other one. Shit. There's your battery lead. There's your bind plug. There's your motor connection. On-off switch. Servo. Pretty simple. Get out some double-sided tape and stick this fucker in there. Alright, here we go. We got some 3M shit. Peel it. Stick it. And then we do the same in the truck. Just make sure everything looks like it's where we want it to be. Yep, looks like it'll work pretty good right there. We can always yank it off and do it again if we have to. good press down. Make sure that shit's stuck on there good. There we go. Plug in some wires. Servo plug is not marked on this one, so we'll just have to see what happens when I turn it on. Motor's plugged in. Here we go. Just got to get a battery and bind it to the controller. Alright, so we got a battery here. Let's see if we can bind this fucker. Alright, so I was not able to get that ESC to bind to the original controller, so I had to go ahead and get the controller from RC 4-wheel drive that goes with the speed control. The combo together was 45 bucks, a little more than I really wanted to spend, but not too bad. Well, either way, it's all set now, it runs, it drives, so let's slap a fresh battery in it and see what this little guy can do. Ooh, sorry. Alright, so fuck. That worked great for about 30 seconds, maybe a minute. I forgot that the batteries in this thing from the factory are 4.8 volts. So I imagine the motor's probably not supposed to take a whole hell of a lot more than that. 2-cell Lipo, 7.4 volts, rated, probably actually putting out more like 8 or 8 and some change when it's fully charged. So I smoked the fucking motor. So we got ourselves this RC 4-wheel drive motor transmission combo. This is the one that comes in the 18th scale Galendas. It's geared better, it's torquier, and it's definitely made to take the proper voltage. So we're going to go ahead and try to put this in to this truck and see if we can get it to the point where it's actually a capable crawler. And I got a couple of scale details that I found here. Nice little rake, nice little shovel. We're going to get those stuck in the bed, something like that, and hopefully we can finally have this truck functioning and performing the way we're trying to. So there's the bracket, completely installed, nice and simple, nothing but an L bracket. Got a couple thicknesses of evergreen plastic, to space up the inner hole, because there's kind of a like a boss molded into the hole that's closer to the outside of the skid plate. A couple of screws in the bottom. One's a little bit big, but it shouldn't be a big deal. It doesn't stick down very far, and it's got round edges. So the only thing I have to do now is I'm going to have to take a little bit of meat off the end of these drive shafts, or output shafts, so that they fit into the drive shafts. And I'll have to take, you can see there's a flat. I'll have to take the Dremel and make that hole completely round. And that should be it. We should be cooking with gas. So let's chew up some material and see if we can make shit fit together. Alright, there she is, all assembled. It's in there, fits. Time to throw a battery in there and see what happens. Time to get the body on and get a proper test. So there you have it. We finally got the ECX Barrage working again. We just had to put a RC four-wheel drive motor, transmission, and speed control receiver combo in it to get it working again. That's all. No big deal. But the gear ratio definitely works better with that motor transmission combo. It's got way better torque, way better crawlability. So it's just a better driving truck overall. Believe it or not, from the beginning of this video to this part right here has been about a year. This truck, and this truck were in the Christmas video last year. This truck broke halfway through. Didn't really break, but the batteries went bad. So I changed the speed control, like we saw earlier, to get Lipos in it, and then fried the motor. So I said fuck it, did a motor transmission combo. And finally, all these months later, after finding time to pick at it and money to buy some parts, even though they weren't really that cheap, they weren't really that expensive. The radio and the receiver ESC combo I think were $45, and the motor transmission combo were like $35. So yeah, find yourself an ECX Barrage, pay about $100 for it, and then throw another $85 in it, and then you'll have a truck that's almost as good as a $120 SEX 24. But either way, they're all fun trucks. We got the tiny fleet whole again. They're all rocking and rolling. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll see you next time on Adult RC, where grown-up time is playtime.